Today we start with the square, Joseph Albers' quiet revolution. In his homage to the square, Joseph Albers shows us how tiny transitions in color to a square change one's perspective on life and everything around it. Today we have with us Anushri and Hiren Patel of HPAD, two such designers who are creating this very revolution through the tiniest of changes. I'm Architect Karan Anand introducing you to Season 4, Episode 4 of Moñö Architecture, All Things Designed. Brought to you by our brand partners Highbeck, Kitchen Studio, Embellish and Turquoise. Hi guys, it's lovely to have you all here. I'm so excited about this conversation.
Thank you.
Excited to be here.
So I'll start with a little question for you.
Okay.
Europe had Bauhaus, and it was a school of thought that became a huge art movement, and it still exists today in utilitarian design. You come from an era of, you come from a similar era, which was CEPT, right? And you have seen India grow through culture and art and architecture. And you've seen the transitions in design. So could you tell us a little bit about your time at CEPT, how it shaped you as a designer and who it has made you today?
Yeah. So it's quite interesting, Karan, that nobody thought in the family, to the friends, that I will become an architect, because I was a very studious and brilliant student. So my marks were so powerful that even CEPT faculty, when they took interview, they say, ये लड़का होनहार है तो एक interview देने आया है, but he's never to go come, because in our time, once you don't get anything else, you go, because then the 12th marks are not calculated and you are selected through interviews. But I really wanted to become an architect. My brothers are civil engineers and my father was actually a town planner. So yeah, CEPT, coming to CEPT was like, see, it does make sense that if you go to some good institute, I mean all schools are good, but if you have some really good faculties and kind of thing,
Yeah.
it gives you for entire your lifespan. So that's how getting the admission as a CEPT was good. Ahmedabad has that culture of Dividosis, the thought process was there to create the architecture college, and that's how it's become very popular till today. For me, apart from that, it was interesting that I always had an inclination towards drawing and painting. And Piraji Sagra, he was a faculty, he was an artist, and he was artist of like is good like Hussein and so he he was our faculty. And what happened that first second year you have to learn about the drawing and painting, so you take studios with him. But later on, all my 5 years I took my elective with him. So people were wondering कि हिरेन को drawings नहीं आ रहा है, so even वो 4th year में बैठा है अकेला सर के साथ. But that is almost become like one-to-one tuition with the master, you know. Yeah. So मेरा study करते हुए architecture, I also did almost like what fine arts graduates would learn. I learned from Piraji Sagra. So that combination has brought a different perspective, different thought process. Initially नहीं समझ में, once after so long practice, I can understand that why that inclination towards the art has happened, and that's how it has slowly formed the architecture practice.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then obviously, I mean, in our time, there were hardly exposure to the other international practice and kind of thing. We used to always wait for GA magazine from Japan come to the library and try to see. Otherwise, हमारे time में तो inside outside was the one. And that also as a student you can't afford, so you go to the रविवारी जो हम गुर्जरी बोलते हैं, you go and buy the old magazines and flip around.
Libraries were like a gold mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for the first 2-3 years of my studies in architecture, I did not realize कि library होता है.
Right.
फिर बाद में अख्तर sir came to me and he's like,
yes.
library में जाइए,
Right.
पढ़ो Habitat 67 क्या है,
Right.
मोशे सावदी कौन है,
Right.
चार्ल्स कोरिया कौन है, and that's when you kind of
So in 3rd year we had exchange program with Switzerland, and that was very rare. And one of the top students, 5 top students, will go, and that brought me to Switzerland to get exploration towards Europe and their architecture, their understanding about detailing. So that has a huge impact as well. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. And you studied in AA in London, and you have studied in India as well, obviously. So could you tell us a little bit about these transitions and what are the pros and cons, what you learned there, what you learned here, and did you have to unlearn, you know?
So till 12th grade, my parents wanted me to stay in Ahmedabad and go maybe for masters.
Yeah.
But when we were, doing that survey, we realized that what Dad was learning at CEPT, that was what they were teaching at CEPT in my day.
Yeah.
So, and there's something that my dad always told me that, if beta, you should always study at least what your parents have studied at that level, or has to be higher.
Yeah.
So that had stuck to me. So I felt that, okay, CEPT is good, but I wasn't getting admission because I didn't have good grades.
Yeah.
So that hit.
I know the feeling. We've all been there.
And then I realized there were, a couple of seniors from Ahmedabad who'd gone to AA. I realized marks don't really matter, your portfolio matters. So I cracked the code and I got it.
Yeah.
So that was undergrad.
It was undergrad,
was it.
yeah. I studied in Gujarat board where you had to mug up a lot.
Yeah.
When I went there, I had to unlearn everything because कभी खुद का सोचने का तो कभी था ही नहीं in India. So the tutors were, very kind, but they always encouraged you to take your own decisions and then have your opinions and fight for your projects.
Yeah.
It's okay if the tutor doesn't agree with it, but if I agree, I need to have my voice. That is something I learned, and first year I actually failed because of, I was always a very shy kid and...
You did kind of, yeah.
Yeah. And then I realized and cracked the code. I was actually very lucky to be at the AA because, we had Zahavi just like walking in and sitting there. We had all the great architects of the world coming in for Friday talks.
And your dad is Hiren Patel. I mean, it's like, I'm jealous.
I think he was also like, oh my god, Dad, today we have Zaha coming.
Yeah.
All five boys, and girls,
And I was also very curious like a child, Bia can just come in, it's a huge queue, people are waiting, and I said, wow. I mean, it was like coming of star architect, so it's,
So, didn't realize the importance of that exposure, why that there's in college, that every architecture college you constantly in jury modes of work. But when I came back and when I interacted with people from the city, I realized that I was very lucky to have that level of experience. And after that, in a fifth year, we had this class where you're questioning about what you want to do in the future.
Yeah.
Most of the students at AA, almost 90% don't become architects. They do something else, but they excel in it. When I came back, I realized that if I do want to do something that is impactful. So if I join that, I become a team leader at 1 year. I'm doing 40, 50 projects.
Yeah.
Well, what impact is it doing? Like, he's only done that. He's already set a platform. I need to take it way beyond.
Much higher, basically.
Yeah. So then at one holiday, I met someone who was talking about the family business program at ISB. So that really intrigued me. So like when we were still at that holiday, I just applied without telling these people and had no idea about the business, how it works, because we're all creative people, right? We wrote notes on maths.
Yeah.
And then...
You saw this sigh that I said, I don't know the math. Happens to me, No, I'm not getting bored. I'm like relating to it because the moment finances come into the picture, I'm just like,
True. Absolutely, you're right.
There and I realized that how can I give my contribution to the firm. So I started thinking of, different growth strategies, understanding how important HR is because we're like almost 100 people now.
Wow.
Right? Managing that, all of that. So trying different methods to grow it, and then we started the real estate business. So coming and studying in India, business was really important because of the Indian context. But I'm so glad I went to AA because of that exposure. The fact that I could think outside the box is all credits to my tutor there.
That's amazing. So, you spoke about Zaha Hadid, we spoke about Bauhaus and all of these. And so, could you tell us about some designers that have shaped the way you have grown your practice and what it took you to become the phenomenal leader in design that you are today?
Yeah, so I would say that I have a huge list of my gurus. I mean, whom you have not met, but you consider them like a guru. And I believe that our practice of Eklavya, that you think this is my guru, and then just worship him and just keep working. So obviously from Charles Correa, I mean, for Indian architects, I would definitely say Charles Correa, because I remember we got married with my wife Dina, and we went to Bhutan to travel, and when we were back, we went to Delhi, and we saw the British Library by Charles Correa. And it was so beautiful, so simple, and I thought, oh, hum bhi bana sakte hain, no? And after that, you think, no, this is like Zen monk.
Yeah.
That once you become masters, you become very simple. And I thought, this is the next level of purity in architecture, and so then want to meet, and I actually went and met him and kind of thing. So I mean, now I have not studied under him. I mean, listen his lecture when he used to come to CEPT.
You got to
yeah, he used to come to CEPT. So luckily my faculty were fantastic. So we have Leo Pereira and Hiren Patel. They were one of the finest architects with a beautiful architecture. And when I was in Switzerland, I went there and I understand, because he studied in Denmark. So then you understand about how the quality has come from his study as well. So slowly as you start practicing, I mean, then again I went to Switzerland, Mario Botta, Snebly, from very different way of doing architecture. Lots of Lugano, south of Switzerland, more Italian influence kind of thing. Snozzi was an architect who was making beautiful concrete houses. No? So Gulfetti was, I'm still don't
I have
remember
goosebumps with all the names that he's
and
taking. This is
what
like
a lovely work. And then suddenly, there's something called as Carlos Carpa, and so it was slowly opening up, and then oh my God, it's like so much of things and how you learn. So you keep learning from their work and kind of thing. Then once the practice came, I still have that way of learning and respecting them. So then inclination towards the landscaping happened after the practice of 15 years, I would say. I always say the wisdom came after 15 years, and I say one cannot segregate landscape design and the architecture in each year. So then we started looking at the work of Bill Benchley and Lake Bonham to Jeffrey Mars, understanding landscaping. So that's how it's a huge list of the gurus, and I keep learning from them.
And Anushri, you now that you're working with your father, right, in his practice, so tell us how your journey began and where it is today, and what are your learnings that you have from it, and what advice you have for others who would say be in your footsteps soon,
Yeah. So I think
because it's a very beautiful place to be in, and you're really making the most of it, and you're doing a wonderful job yourself, and a lot of people aren't able to do it. So just if you could.
Sure. So I think he's a very easy boss to work with.
I think he's an easy boss if you're good. I don't think he's.
No, trust me, he's the easiest and the nicest and most kind person I've ever, and I'm so lucky to have him as my father. So, I mean, whatever I do, he's always supportive. So that has really helped me in trying different things out constantly. When I entered and I said that, I'm not really enjoying the design process per se, because it's the client back and forth. I don't enjoy that. I'd like to be my own client if I had to. But somewhere I do enjoy the business side, the growth, the strategy, the impact. So it's like, why don't you do that? Go for it. So when I stepped in, I started figuring out what are the little things, the gaps that are missing in our firm. And then so we make big houses, right? Because Gujarat, so much land. Interior designers, they do so much work. Our interior design team, is understanding technicalities and doing it. But now imagine if 15,000 square feet is like your smaller category homes, right? In that you also end up having to style the space. Everyone gets tired. So I realized, okay, this is a gap that's there. Of course, with all the exposure and all, I thought, let me start that department. So dhire dhire, we were collaborating with Sam, Jasmine, all of them, and then we started this journey. Now we have a decent sized styling department. So I also know that once I come in, I want to start setup, look at the gap, let it be on an auto run mode, and then switch to a next problem in the entire process. Right now I'm looking more at operations, like digitizing the workflow, and so I learned from that as well. And whatever infrastructure, the amount of money we are also investing in our setup, is there. So even I would like to share and make sure people can grow. I believe in the fact that I want to make such a platform for designers that you come with me, you come with us, you don't have to think about anything else. You sit down, design. Okay, if you think you're better at managing project, I have a space for you. You can do that comfortably. I'll take care of everything else.
Yeah.
So I am an empath of that sort, and I like to find different problems, solve them, move on to the next thing.
Yeah, so if I'm adding that, let's say, I mean, I have grown like a normal practice that you start with 5 people, 2, 3 people, and then slowly grow up, and no. So still you are with that sense of designing, and then suddenly the office practices become wider, and you have to become actually systematic.
Yeah.
But your thought process is still like that. Chalo manage kar, and that's how it has been doing. But that's loss of energy loss because you never put on the paper.
Yeah.
But Anushri came, she started becoming like that, and she loved that systems. So then, no, like the KRA and KPI is a new terminology for me. And एक साल मुझे लगा समझ में कि क्या चल रहा है, no?
मुझे तो अभी भी पता नहीं.
अभी भी
Key
नहीं पता.
responsibility areas and key performance index.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a very corporate lingo.
Yeah.
And so we were not doing it.
To sit with you separately.
So we
Sorry to interrupt you, but designing the KRA and KPIs, imagine for every role, right?
Every role, yeah.
It took me and the HR consultant 1 year. I was like, भाई मुझे पता नहीं हम क्या करते हैं और इसको कैसे?
Yeah.
How can you grade someone's performance in design quality? It's not objective.
Like surprising that after that so much of hard work that has been done and वो आर्किटेक्ट को दिया है, right?
हाँ.
तो 1 साल के बाद रिव्यू करते तब बोलते अच्छा ये क्या है? That means उससे 1 साल कुछ देखा ही नहीं, right? And then we say guys ये wake up, this is another way of working as a designer. से आपके लिए अच्छा हो रहा है. It's not like exams. And now we say every month, everybody, and then every Wednesday we have so
It motivates your team
it's
to work
motivates
harder
the team.
also.
Yeah.
And then it's we suddenly realize and start falling in love that कि ये तो उससे मेरा काम improve हो रहा है. And she started applying with her styling team. तो हमारी जो पुरानी सिस्टम वाले हम लोग हैं वो इतना काम करके पे कंप्लेन में आते हैं क्लाइंट के साथ और ये बच्चे लोग जाते हैं सिस्टमेटिक करके शाम को तो पार्टी कर रहे हैं बिकॉज दे आर कट एंड सो माय क्लाइंट्स आर मोर हैप्पी विद देम एंड देन वी से देखो बिकॉज दे केम विद द सिस्टम creativity has been not damaged, but it is rather improved. Let's work on that. So that's how we have become very conscious and we are enjoying, and now we are pushing our team. बहुत मजा आ रहा है. So like now we say यार design day कम कर रहा है. We always say Wednesdays like design day, no phone call, nothing. Now we say Thursday and Wednesday, no phone call.
Because you're also organized.
We just want to be there because that's where we are dying for it. तो अभी कोई किसी का फोन आया साइड पे भागो वाली बात नहीं करनी है. आप मंडे ट्यूसडे में ख़त्म करो वो सिस्टम में आ गए तो देन वेडनेसडे एंड थर्सडे यार लाइक आप शॉर्ट्स पे भी आ गए ऑफिस में, यू आर वर्किंग एंड दैट्स जो यू आर डाइंग फॉर एंड वंस यू हैव दैट creativity will boost to the next level.
And actually, sir, this is such a valid point because I have a very small practice. We are about 8 or 10 of us, right? I do not remember the last time I got more than 2 hours to sit down and actually design. You know, and a lot of senior designers that I've spoken to have told me the same thing. They've developed systems and they do not take calls and they work for say 2 days in a week or 1 day in a week because that really develops you as a practice.
Yeah.
So I think that's really, really important. Thank you for this wonderful.
And we have like we have design head. Girish Karnawat is practice is also so good. Girish is also with us now. So now he comes. If you know that Girish came and joined with us, right? So
Yes.
We are getting the absolutely like light-minded people who are really good in the kind of thing. For example, the Tanmay is a graphic guy. So I say Girish, आपको इधर आके I don't want one more designers. We are enough good designers, right? I want you to become a workie, Professor Workie of CEPT. He came and he changed the entire culture of that. I say, we want at our Oxygen, our office name is Oxygen. So we say, we want you to come at Oxygen for that culture of safe. So then now we have designed it. वो आके बोलेगा कि why are you designing? Why can't you think of load bearing walls? अभी नए बच्चों को तो मालूम ही नहीं है, no? As you were saying also. So I mean, so now practice has become like almost like an institute and way of growing.
Like when I was teaching, I told someone make a diagram of a Flemish bond.
Yes.
And they were just like, what? I said English bond बना दो, modern bond बना दो. ईट के बारे में पता ही नहीं है, and it's not their fault. It is not their fault. You are as good as the person who is teaching you, right? So I think it's amazing that you all are still imbibing that culture in your practice, and I think that is also a thing about Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
Like
It is that.
you all are very focused on education.
Yeah.
A lot of designers I meet from there are heavily focused on designers, and so I also wanted to speak to you about how you both, like your entire practice, is a very idealistic practice. You do what you want to do, and you choose your projects. You don't do anything just for the sake of, say, monetary gains, right? So could you both tell us a little bit about this journey? Like, how do you say no to a client?
I don't think we say no. We just get excited with every project and we take, हाँ चलो ये भी कर ले. This is very exciting.
Now she says, "Daddy, enough, mat karo."
Now we have to say no. I'm telling you that
Yeah.
now.
No. So for me, see, I enjoy if my team is doing mistakes.
Yeah.
Because see, architecture journey is a long. I mean, you have 3 years or 2 years to do it. So earlier, I used to get. So I know how to buy the time. So I don't get panic about it.
Yeah.
So the team is working, and if they are not going the right direction, I say that's an advantage for me because it will push me to come to another level of designing. So they are working, and then so we have not formatted the kind of thing that this is our style of work or the material palette to the form. We say no, we are open, yes, but there's a philosophy. Yes, we want to get the timelessness. We want to go back to the nature and that kind of thing. So that keeps pushing. So we are open. I mean, that's how we are.
So before we talk further about your practice, I actually wanted to bring up something that you all are doing in real estate right now. But before we do that, I want to talk about one thing. One is your final project that you did, your thesis in your architecture. I don't know if you remember now.
I remember.
You do,
I
yeah.
absolutely remember. I'm unfortunately that CEPT has also lost my thesis book, and my guide was C passer Meenakshi Jain. So I don't know, but yeah, I lost mine. हमारे time में तो Xerox machine में होता था in that.
Black book.
Yeah. So yeah, black book. So I did my. You wanted to know what?
Yes. I want to know both your final projects because I want to see the difference in what you both did in different eras of design.
So CEPT में basically it's a research. It's not a design thesis. So we have to do research, and I took the market. So I took 3 different scales of the urban fabric, the scale of the size at the town, village to town to the city. So basically I took a Sankheda Bazaar, which that toys banate na Sankheda Bazaar. So Sankheda Bazaar of Eider. So it's famous. So that's a street. So basically my thesis was on street bazaars. So the street bazaar of Sankheda I study. So go and measure and everything, understand about people. Just it's a village. So people live and work in the veranda. That's how it is. It's a one kind of community works. Then second one was my Jodhpur, the Chudi Bazaar. So I took Chudi Bazaar and the Gandhi Road of Ahmedabad, which was like a one thing, but then it's become multiple. So वहीं पे बाटा की भी शॉप है, no kind of. So urbanization होता है, तो how that shift happened. So that was my study, and it was fantastic.
It was nice, and
the Meenakshi Jain was my professor, very brilliant.
I don't think she's
C pass.
yeah, I heard. Yeah. What was your?
So in my final project was called the Theatre of Dreams. It was in Paris.
Is it inspired from the music band?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember how we came up with the name of my tutor. So
Yeah, it's got a nice name.
So we were all supposed to design theatres.
Yeah.
At A, all the years you are basically doing a thesis
I
project.
hate theatre design. We had it in college and it is so difficult. And वो अख्तर चौहान sir ने मेरी ऐसी बैंड बजाई है, sorry guys, but it brings like such bad acoustics किधर है, distance कितना है screen से, and I was like नहीं करना है सर, because we always had those cultural centers that we had to design. Architecture projects always had cultural centers in India, and that one center always had a amphitheater or a theater.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Now, so coming to that, I remember when I was doing my training in Chandagarh Thakur in Bangalore, and I was also in the night, I was helping one other friend. She's a faculty, she's a dean at the Surat College, Bhavana. And so I used to help them out because then we could stay at the architect's place, so you save money. You know, that was a hidden agenda for us. So Jess from IIN Studio, so we were INI Studio, we were all working together. I remember one night I woke up because they were working for that firm, me not. So I was helping guy to just have a accommodation and I would help them. So merely performance was not important because I was working CNT. And then I woke up and I saw in the dining room, because it was like home come office. So in dining room, Bhavana was doing that that competition happened, first international competition happened for Delhi, that Central Vista pe. And Ralph, some American firm won that time first, and they made computer drawings on those time. So she was designing the theater. And I said, Bhavna, आप क्या कर रही है? अभी 3 बजे सुबह के. She said, Hiren, मेरे 600 वो seats नहीं आ रही theater में. मैंने बोला छोड़ा करके डाल दो, अभी कंपटीशन जीतेगी तब फिट करेंगे, अभी से कहाँ इतना सोते हैं. So I still remember. So she was so meticulous. I said, ये एरिया में नहीं फिट रहा. मैंने बोला थोड़ा छोटा करके डाल दो, अभी चल जाएगा, जीतेंगे तब बना देंगे, अभी से इतना क्यों टेंशन.
मेरे ना शीट फटे ये करके, मैंने भी कॉलेज में वही किया था, मैंने फिट कर दिया. मैंने बाद में देखी मेरी शीट फाड़े गए. ये स्टोन माय शीट सेइंग it's not fitting, how have you done this? And I was just like, यार don't tear the sheets man, it costs like $200 to print.
Yeah, you work all the night.
And hand done sheets मतलब और वो रोटरिंग पेन के तो मुझे sorry please
So you can
continue your
continue.
story.
Sorry for that.
Yeah.
No, but your stories are even more interesting.
They are just very traumatic. I used to use those rotoring pens, you know, at that point of time, and if you just like kind of turn the pen a little bit, the sheet is gone. And
Expensive pens.
Yeah, and like our faculty in Rizvi at that time, they were like say licensing officers, you know, or there was Akhtar Chauhan sir. There were many of these guys who were idealists, you know, like your father. So they would not. वो कटर से थोड़ा इंक निकालोगे तो वो नहीं मानते थे. दैट शीट वुड टेयर. मेरे कितने गेटवे शीट्स फटे हैं. आई एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम अदर फिजिकल डैमेज दैट हैज हैपेंड टू मी is a different story, but anyway, coming back to your theatre audience.
Dreams. So it was based in Paris, and our tutor had designed a theatre in Paris. LAN Architects में से he was the founding person, and all 15 of us were supposed to select a site and then design a theatre. So I did more on a community center / theatre for the Indian diaspora over there, and it was more about programmatic activating rather than actual spatial activating, inspired from what are those theatres at in New York, Lincoln Center.
Oh yes, the Lincoln Center.
So all of that. I just really like it a lot though.
Actually, I have a very interesting question for you. You know, you spoke about program activation, right? So when we studied, our faculties would always talk to us, like when we were doing a project, they would be like, "Pehle program banao." You know, and we would never understand. I would never understand it. I'm like, listen, I'm designing a theater. You can do whatever you want in it.
Yeah.
I'm designing an auditorium. You do whatever you want in it. But I never understood the concept of program. And later in life, I realized the importance of it because. I mean, form follows function.
Exactly.
You know, only in certain situations can you say that function follows form, right? So, could you tell us a little bit about programs and how it has played a significant role in your development and how you use it?
So,
clearly, since you've also created programs for your practice now.
Yeah. So, honestly, that's how our real estate even started in the first place. It was COVID. We have one room in our house, which is the glass room, and all of us kept on fighting who's going to use that room because it's got landscape outside, and we live in a very smaller house. So that was the most exciting part. And with that, I came up to, and it was COVID. We were getting a lot of inquiries for plotting schemes because everyone wanted bigger homes or second home, and then I could see every meeting he was having whatever proposal was gone, there was some negotiation with the builder saying, "नहीं, ये सब कम करना पड़ेगा." You know, the math has to math for them. And I was like, "Dad, why don't we just make it?" No. So we started with that, and that's where the architectural programming mind works in. We were like, because we want to create a community. It's not just homes that we want to sell or something, right? With every plot, we have a studio in it. The slow living kind of a space. That studio, whatever your family's hobby, you all can come up with a hobby, and we build that for you. So imagine 55 homes with 55 different hobbies. You're there on the weekend saying, "Oh, you know what? There's a tea bar because that person really likes tea. So let's go there." And from that, "Oh, that's a drummer. Let's go, play some music." So that is the initial thought for Monkey Forest, and we try it in our own way now. So every weekend, twice a month, we try to get creative people to host some workshop or some event where everyone else can come experience the space. So that way I'm very programmatic, activation led, and I still even try to do with the new office as well. Like we call people over because that exchange, that community building is very important. I realize.
And I think also like when you speak about programs and all of that, it also reminds me of like design, right? When even if you were designing a house, like we had residential projects, so they would be like पहले hobbies बनाओ, पहले family members क्या करते हैं वो बनाओ, उनका description लिखो, what is the father's age, is he handicapped, does he have, you know, like does he have a pet? So all of those things never related to me till I actually started doing spaces, because it matters so much now. Anyway, so thank you for this lovely insight. We're going to take a break and then we'll come back to our conversation. Okay? So we'll play a quick game. So I will ask you 6 questions each.
No, I hope they're not difficult.
You have to give quick answer. They're about life and things like that. They're not GQ. The person who gives better answers, they're going to decide, because I am not choosing sides here. Okay. So Anushri, I'm starting with you, okay? One moment at AA that fundamentally altered how you think about design.
Oh my God, this is how I think about design. Oh yeah, that last class when they said that 90% of our students don't become architects. That gave me the confidence saying, okay, I don't really need to be a design architect.
That's so true. I started with a batch of 95 and 28 of us gave our dissertation. So So anyway, okay. If you could design an entire world from scratch, what's the one feeling you'd want people to experience walking through it?
Light and ventilation. And I know it sounds very cliche, but when we design spaces, when you actually walk in through it, photos can't capture that. Photos can't capture like that sense.
Essence.
And it changes the way you live, trust me. You're happier. There's no seasonal depression, nothing.
What does home mean to you as an architect?
Cozy spaces, like where there's no glamour, nothing.
What is your quietest obsession in design, something only you notice?
I think when it's not system-led.
I was just going to say, when you see that a studio doesn't have a program.
Yeah,
I was just going to say that.
And that really irks me.
What's your architectural love language? Proportion, light or tactility?
Light.
What's more revealing? A section or a shadow?
A shadow. I mean, that sounds more artsy, but to a layman, a section. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the lovely answer.
Thank you.
That was amazing. Okay. Your
That's
turn.
for me?
Yes.
Okay.
Now your turn. Okay. What do you believe is the soul of Indian architecture that the world still hasn't fully understood?
Heritage.
Wow. Okay. A ritual or habit that has kept your creativity rooted for decades?
Keep experimenting with the sports and the painting and traveling.
He's done an half Ironman, by the way.
Like the marathon.
Yeah.
What? It's
As a
triathlon.
interesting
You
story.
swim.
So he was at some
Yeah,
event?
so I was a part of a jury at HPAD in Calcutta. Like you, I landed back at 11:30 at airport, reached home by 12:30. I had to wake up at 4 o'clock to register, and then it's 2 kilometers of swimming, and then 21 kilometer, then 45 kilometers of cycling, and the 21 kilometers of running. I had to finish, and I finished that. I could do that.
Not really proper.
When was this?
That was before COVID something.
Yeah.
Okay, that's easy. Guess who's already won this game?
I think he's won it.
If you could pass down only one philosophy to Anushri, carved in stone, what would it be?
Let the bomb fall in front of you, your breathing should not change. Be calm.
Wow. Okay. After all these years, what still surprises you about space and the way people respond to it?
Light falling in the spaces. Yeah.
Right. You both are speaking like proper old school architects. लाइट है वो ना मेरे कॉलेज में भी जब हम बनाते थे तो बोलते थे कोर्टयार्ड तो बना दिया भाई पास डायग्राम किधर है लाइट किधर से आ रहे दोनों साइड पे तीन माले के स्ट्रक्चर है कोर्टयार्ड में क्या होएगा इधर तो मोल्ड आ जाएगा ठंडा पड़ जाएगा बारिश आएगा वाटर क्लॉगिंग हो जाएगा एंड आई एम जस्ट लाइक सर प्लीज यार पास कर दो ही लाइक नो या व्हाट स्पेस इन इंडिया स्टिल हम्बल्स यू नो मैटर हाउ मच यू बिल्ट
आई थिंक वॉकिंग all village streets and the architecture developed by the people and you are walking by. Fantastic. And if you go to the houses of Rajasthan or even in Jharkhand, I think next level. I mean, what ego we are taking They have in their blood and DNA, and we think we are so cool architects, and we don't even have those quality of design.
Yeah, that's true. Is there a space you designed that you now feel was ahead of you at the time?
Yes, our own veranda. It was so beautiful. Never thought of it, but it was ahead of time, and COVID made us realize that we can live in that veranda forever. It has that quality.
Okay, thank you so much for the wonderful answers, both of us. Who has won, guys?
Oh, how come?
Sorry.
Of course.
Oh,
At least pretend to think, na? Sorry, Anushri.
मैं बेटी को गिफ्ट कर सकता हूँ भैया.
वो वैसे भी आपको दोनों को ही हैम्पर मिलने वाला है, बाद में आपको भी मिल ही जाएगा. So our brand partners Kitchen Studio would like to present you with a hamper.
Oh, lovely.
Thing.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so Anushri, you all are doing something phenomenal with real estate now, and it's a very different direction from what the universal real estate journey is. So could you all talk to us a little bit about that?
Sure. So as I previously mentioned about, the idea where it came from, to start our own real estate is because I think to deliver the kind of imagination we have for a product, we can't rely on builders who are doing it for their other purposes. So we thought, why don't we take the risk and start with a more experiential based real estate. So Monkey Forest is the first project, the second is the Note of Zen, and the third is
like a musical note.
and Museum of Dreams. I think, why don't you explain it now?
Yeah, so yes, Anushri just thought that why can't we design and build, and yeah, so it's a good idea. We are in a good time today in India. So it's a design and build is something which is like creating your own canvas, like a painter.
Yes.
I always say that artists are very lucky because they have control on their canvas. As a designers, we don't have, because we design for somebody else, and the contractor will build, the owner will get it changed, and you perhaps don't get what exactly you wanted to get. Yeah. So if you design and build, it's a fantastic. And there are a couple of good examples like Total Environment from Bangalore. They have been doing fantastic thing. So, and at the moment, Indian time is good. So we thought it's a good idea of doing that. It just happened, Anushri brought the idea, and we thought and jumped in. And we wanted to create that. And after that, Monkey Forest response and people like, and the way it has been stepping up, we went on further venture on this part. Yes, real estate is a different ball game. We architects are very poor in the maths and kind of thing, where you work with the bigger the areas and everything, responsibility, accountability is much more in that part. What we like at the like a Zen, right? So we gave the name Zen. After one year we realized that Zen to Gautam Buddha bana sakte hai na. We are honest people. See, architects are always honest people. We say, we can't give the name which is not right. We cannot create Zen. We wanted to create little Auroville, no? So then we came with, after that we say a note of Zen. अगर सिंगल स्ट्रोक भी लग गया म्यूजिक का तो हो गई
काफी है हमारे लिए.
So we are very honest and people are loving this honesty. So that's where we realized, and then we thought, let's start with something which is Zen. And we thought, भगवान शिवा के वहाँ से कुछ लेके आते, no? Like now you are the architect and you are the client. So we thought, what do you mean? And we said, like where he lives in Himalayas. Let's get something from there. And then we brought some artisans from there to create Katkoni architecture, and we created a beautiful temple which is like iconic now. हमने तो मस्ती करते करते कर दिया, and now realize if you have to study Katkoni architecture, you don't have to go to Himachal Pradesh. There is one building in the entire world which is in our site, which is again real estate project. So look at the quality of the real estate project, has that purity, So that has happening. It's still too early to say that's a successful story because it's still in working. So we say, so let's apply the same rule which we were very hardworking people. Let's apply in our real estate thing. Keep working, people has trust, and product is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. Also, the structure becomes educative in the future. So that's a lovely approach to it.
Yeah.
Could you ask your dad to romanticize one project of his that you like?
Okay. So I'm going to say it is a Note of Zen. It's also the place where I'm getting married in January.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, and that was his baby. Out of all our real estate, I would say Monkey Forest is my baby. I like it a lot. And he is more partial towards a Note of Zen.
Yeah.
So, please romanticize it.
Okay.
Because it's really...
So it's quite interesting. See, when you design and build, you're constantly thinking. It's a constantly thinking mode. And then you say, हाँ ये अच्छी चीज़ है, मुझे approval नहीं लेनी है. मैं कर लूँ. Yes, one has to understand the maths of something that you don't overshoot your budget or whatever. But we always say we are people without excessive. भैया मजा आ गया तो कर लो. तो in terms of workmanship is so good, everything, right?
Yeah.
So we came with this idea of making beautiful temple, and then we thought कि भाई क्या रखे? We don't want मंदिर नहीं बनाना, but we want some idols there. So we thought Narayan Sinha from Kolkata, he was beautiful Durga. And he said, Narayan, can you make भगवान को कोई कुछ बना? He said, दादा मैं विष्णु बना सकता हूँ, बना दो भैया. No, so I mean it's such a fun.
Yeah.
Now we created that beautiful structure, and we were thinking, as we thought कि ये बना है इस water channel, we wanted to see the reflection like Taj Mahal, and then we thought Piyath order work. Why can't we have inclined surface and have beautiful garden like Piyath order work? वो exotic tree flower होंगे because of Europe is different. हम बारमासी से करेंगे. Why can't we do that? No, let's have respect and love for our own native flowering plants. We create beautiful things, and then we have sense of arrival. Inspired from, let's say, Bali or something with a gate of heaven where there's no cover and the sky is the thing. And we were there and we thought, अरे ये जगह पे शाम को sunset इतना सुंदर दिखता है. And then after you see the star and you say, we have to tell this plaza be with universe because you are actually getting connected. And the people say you are getting that vibes, no? So then we thought, can we make this entire space like a wedding place next to if you're lawn? So we want our members to become like partner. We never think because हम हमेशा service में है. So you never think your members are ये मेरे customer. No, you think they are partners. So we thought हम ऐसा कुछ बनाए that people can earn out of that. So मेरा maintenance of society will happen. And we thought our prime minister says, wed in India. Why can't we create something beautiful? And that's how we were thinking. Let's create something very different way of creating. And then luckily Anushri also liked that place. And we thought, चलो हम करते हम बनाते, let's we'll experiment the whole thing, we'll do some creative event for the wedding, and no, we are looking forward to that. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for this lovely conversation. Before we call it a wrap, I would like to address our audiences and just give one line of advice or anything that you would like to share with them.
Yeah, so I would say never stop learning at whatever age it is. Like I constantly keep on taking courses, classes, every year, every few months, even YouTube videos and all. That really helps constantly upskill yourself.
Lovely, thank you so much.
Yeah. I would also say the same thing. Be a student for your entire life. That's the way to move forward.
Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you for watching this absolutely incredible episode with Hiren Patel and Anushri Patel of HPAD. Stay tuned for season 4, episode 5 coming soon.
Class, elevation, architecture, drawing.
She said architecture for everything.
It's
Architecture, design,
yeah,
pretty much
those are the fellows.
Okay.